Okay, my good friends, was Babylon Atlantis? And I say yes, it was. They say the Tower of Babel is in remains of a vast structure in ancient Iraq, modern day Iraq. Well, I say that's not true, and here's why. Okay, it seems quite evident that Babylon was Atlantis, and here's why. Revelations 18:17. Lament over Babylon, saying, Woe, woe to the great city, clothed in fine linen and purple, scarlet, adorned with gold, precious stones, and pearls. Now listen now. In a single hour, such fabulous wealth has been destroyed. Every ship master, passenger, and sailor, and all who make their living from the sea will stand at a distance and cry out as the sight of the smoke rising from the fire that consumes her. What city was ever like this great city? They will exclaim. Now, it's all the ones that made their wealth from the sea. And it says, every sea captain and all who travel by ship and the sailors that earn their living from the sea will stand far off. It's because Atlantis collapsed. Now they talk about a fire, and I can't explain that, the smoke of a fire, but apparently there was a big earthquake, and then Atlantis collapsed. Now, would it start a fire and start a little fire and then collapse and they could see the smoke from the fire, or would it just have been just the smoke rising from the cataclysm of the event? I don't know. But I can tell you one thing, I'm pretty well sure right now that it was the Atlantis that collapsed. And it's exactly what Plato says. Plato said in one day, these say in 1 hour. And everybody that made their living from the sea is going to be upset. And it was Babylon they're talking about, and I say it was Atlantis. And anybody who's been following me understands that's Atlantis, the eye of the Sahara. The whole Africa was an ocean, and there was a straits right here. All right, there was a in and out area here. Apparently, this was like a swale, and they could get in and out of here through the straits into the ocean here, into the Atlantic. And then it collapsed and all the water ran through, and I looked at it very carefully, and it just ran out of there. I mean, there's just no question about it. And then you got the fish, and then you got the dragon. So there's a lot to think about here that has never been thought about before at all. And it affects everything. It affects everything of our ancient history, 100% and more, because there's things here that nobody has ever would ever even consider, and still has a hard time consider, even as in front of their face. It can't be. It's impossible because it's too big. Well, I say it's possible because it's here. Now, why is it so big? That's what I want to know. And these aren't the only ones either. That's the key. This is kind of, it's hard to figure, but it is what it is. I don't hide from things that are what they are.